Jack Bly here, and behind me is the single reason in existence why you're not signing clients consistently. Like this is literally the only thing it comes down to. It's what I discovered along my way of building my business to 100 some K a month so far. So I'm sharing what I've learned. Hopefully this helps. It comes down to this one equation. All right, we're really going to simplify things here. It's not going to be complex. It's simple. So we have this equation. I call it the money equation. It is the only reason you're not making the money that you want to make is this. So we have humans. This is component number one. So humans means like people in your niche, whoever you're targeting. If you're a fitness coach, it's obviously people who want to lose weight, build muscle, get fit, whoever you're targeting. That's humans. Then second component that we have is your offer. All right, whatever your value proposition is to them. A 3-month program doing XYZ to get you this result. That's your offer. And then if you do these correctly, if you simply have a good offer that the humans actually like, they want, and you put it in front of enough humans, you will make money. Period. Like this is literally it. The number one reason you're not signing clients is probably because you're not putting your offer in front of enough humans. Like truthfully speaking, like ask yourself right now, how many humans in the last week saw your offer, were presented with your offer so they could actually buy? Probably like 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, like nothing significant. You simply need to put your offer in front of more humans. Now, how do we do this? How do we put your offer in front of as many humans as possible? Because that's literally it. Like, as long as you don't have like a crappy offer, as long as you know like what is the dream outcome they want, and you're promising them that, and you're promising them like the pathway, you have some results. That's fine. Like you just need to put it in front of more humans. And here's how you do that. So you have to be focused on the thing that really matters, like the life force of your business. Like how do you present your offer here? It's through calls. Okay. Sales calls. Like that is what you need. That is the life force of your business. If you have let me ask you this, if you have 50 calls on your calendar this month, do you think you're going to sign a client or 2 or 3 or 10? Like it's pretty simple. Like this is the life force. So what you need to do is, if you're not signing clients, like this has to be your attention. How the hell do we get more calls booked? Like everything has to go on this because this is the life force. I can guarantee you, every single person I've ever worked with, I've seen if like they have a lot of calls booked, they're making money, they're growing their business. If they don't, then they're struggling. Like this is it. Calls. Get calls booked. Now, there's my eraser here, my piece of paper. How do we do this? How do we get calls so we can actually present your offer in front of more humans? Let me break it down. All right, we're gonna make things real for you. If you do this, you will have calls and you will sign more clients. Okay, so how do we get calls? There's three main ways to get calls. Now, I know this because we booked a record of 264 sales calls in 1 month so far. So it works pretty darn well. So in 3 ways, 1, 2, 3. So first way is gonna be inbound. Okay, so this is a great way if you already have an audience built up. All right, so if you have thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers, you can leverage inbound right now, and you can sign clients right now. All right, we'll go over how that works in a moment. Second way is getting paid ads. So paid ads is great if you have, a surplus of cash and you're willing to invest it and test a few things until you get a winning campaign here. And then you just kind of have this legal money printer that prints money. You don't really have to do much. So this is really good if you have, cash stored up. If not, it's not really good for you, obviously. The third one, outbound. So outbound is what I recommend to people just getting started, beginners, or people who don't have a surplus of cash or an audience. All right, so if you don't have like these 2 resources, an audience or cash, go to outbound. All right, so it's kind of depending on your resources here. If you have an audience, do inbound. If you have cash, do paid ads. If you have none of those, do outbound. All right, so that's the 3 ways you can get more calls booked. And let's break down like how each of these works, what you should do for them. So what I've noticed is what is by far like the highest converting funnel that I've tested over multiple years here is first getting people in the DMs. All right, I found it's much easier to sell people to DM me or get in the DMs and then get a call booked. All right, think that humans are creatures of commitment and consistency. All right, if you've heard the consistency principle, you know about this a little bit. And so basically the idea is here. If I can get someone to DM me first, we have a little conversation in there, we have some positive commitment of, yeah, I'm interested in what you're doing, like let me learn more. Something like that. The more and more commitment we build up, the easier it is for them to take a larger step. And so kind of have like a staircase here. So first step is like, they DM me, they go up this level of commitment. And then next step is they reply positively. They answer a few questions, more and more commitment being built up. And then they book a call with me. All right, so that the commitment is building here constantly. And so by the time that I ask to get them on a call, it's much easier than going from 0 to 100 real quick. All right, so we build that commitment. All right, so that's the goal here. With all these right here, I recommend you just push people to DMs. All right, once they're in the DMs, we can get them on a call much easier. All right, it's that commitment that we're building. All right, this is also much cheaper as well. All right, if you ever run paid ads before, it's pretty expensive to get someone like a complete stranger into call booked instantly. All right, so one of the things I tried and I tested, I like ran direct ads to like a landing page and have BSL there of like complete strangers. Hey, watch this 5-minute video and now you're gonna trust me and book a call with me. It can convert, but it's usually more expensive. It's usually harder to convert. And so easier is just this. Hey, if you're interested, just shoot me a DM. It's 100% free to learn more. All right, so that's what we do here. All right, so for examples of this, like inbound, if you have an audience built up, you can do simple posts that I call hand raisers. So for example, if you're on Instagram and you're making that Instagram story, what you can do is make a simple post like, hey, are you this type of person, your avatar, and do you want this dream outcome? If so, I'm adding 3 new clients this week. DM me this keyword and I'll get you the details. Something super simple and basic like that. It sounds so stupid, so simple, but no one does this. It drives me crazy. I speak to so many people who have like a big audience, especially on Instagram. There's a lot of people who have a giant audience on Instagram, but they have just no clue how to monetize it. Like they have like 100K followers and then they make like $0 or 1K. And I'm just like, holy, like bro, like come on, man, we could make you 50K a month, like that. And man, so simple things like hand raisers. I can also do polls. So polls are a great one on Instagram as well. We can do Instagram stories and you ask them a simple question about like what you help people with. So like for fitness example, like what's been the hardest part about losing weight right now? Is it your diets? That's like one of the poll answers. Or is it, workouts or consistency or something? Give them a few answers. And then people answer the polls. And then on Instagram, what you can do, which is pretty cool, is you can see like who answered the polls. And so all of a sudden you can DM people. It's like, hey man, I saw you said like you're struggling with your diet. Could you tell me a little bit more about that? Maybe I can help you out. You DM them, people are already like kind of raising their hand, like a semi hand raiser. They're raising their hand with these struggles that they're having, and then instantly all these leads reveal themselves. Right, that's inbound. So that's an example of that paid ads. What we can do for this is, for example, we got a few guys who, like one of my guys, Jeremy, we set up a simple like hand raiser paid ad pretty much. Where it's like kind of similar to inbound what I told you before is simply making an offer. It's like, hey, are you this avatar? Do you want this dream outcome? Here's proof I've done this for other people. DM me this keyword, if you want the details. And Jeremy, when we set this up for him, he got like absurd results. This is not typical, but basically he spent $40 on ad spend, booked 2 calls from that, and both of them turned into 3K clients for him. So 6K return based off $40 spent, which is not typical. All right, I'm just saying that because I think it's pretty cool. All right, that's an example of paid ads. Again, we're always shooting people to DMs here because it's easy. It's easy to get people into DMs rather than having, hey, book a call right now. You don't even know me. You haven't had like an ounce of a conversation yet. And then outbound. So outbound is a little bit interesting here. It's a little bit, different from what we're doing for inbound and paid ads. Outbound is we're messaging them first. We're DMing them first. All right, so we're going to their inbox first. And so obviously like conversion rates will be lower here, but the thing is it's 100% free. And then you can also like target very hyper specifically with outbound. You can choose who you're DMing. So you can see like who is this person? Maybe they have interests, like they're liking certain pages, they're following certain accounts. They have this job title. There's a lot of cool things you can do with targeting on outbound to really make sure it's like really dialed in. You're only reaching out to like hyper qualified prospects, which is pretty cool. All right, so I love outbound, especially like for people who don't have cash right now, don't have a lot of cash, or they're just getting started. You want to do something for free to get clients. All these channels, like one of these can scale you to 100K a month just by itself. So all of them are ultra scalable. All right, that's how we get these things to roll, and that's how we actually get DMs. Now, you're probably thinking, Jack, you said we were going to book calls. How the heck do I turn a DM into a call booked so I can finally get the money in my bank account, the clients that I want? All right, let's break it down. All right, my damp paper towel here again. So once we have DMs, break down how this works. Should have some elevator music right now while I'm erasing stuff. Keep your attention here. All right. So we have once you have DMs, you implement these strategies, one of these three, and you're getting DMs. Here's what we want to do to turn a DM into a call. Okay, so there's a few different strategies you can do for this, but I'll give you like the two basic ones that we do. So there's more of a, like, number one is going to be a direct approach. You're very straight up, you're very direct. And then number two is going to be a softened approach. Okay, hopefully you can read that. Okay, so we have direct and we have softened. So direct, I usually do direct myself. I just like it works well for me, just my personality, I guess. So this is like, basically like one of the outbound messages I use right now is pretty much a direct offer from the get-go. I say, hey, are you a coach and do you want to add, 10, 20K months to your coaching business? If you want to hear the details, just reply back with a thumbs up. All right, something simple like that. It's not the exact message, but kind of paraphrasing there. So I send them this basically direct offer instantly. And what happens next is people, reply positively. They'll say, yes, send me the details or thumbs up. And then what I do is I send them an offer video, a 90-second video that breaks down my offer, risk reversal, client results, and just like absurd proof, just spamming them with proof. And a softened like call to action, like, hey, like if this sounds remotely interesting, just shoot me a thumbs up and then I'll shoot you over, our calendar. All right. And so boom, we have the calendar sent. And this is all like very straightforward because I'm being very transparent from the get-go. Like I'm pitching them. I'm like, hey, like, is it cool if I pitch you? That's basically what we're doing with the direct approach. All right, this works very well. And that's how we get someone on the call. It's pretty straightforward. So you make them an offer, they say yes, you send them more info, they say yes again, and then boom, calendar link, boom, booked. Cool. Softened approach though. This also works well. So usually for this, you want to ask them, like, this works well if it's a warm reach out as well. Sometimes you can do cold. This is usually like a quick question, like an easy question. Like one we ran like way back, and don't copy this because this probably doesn't work anymore because a lot of people like started using it, is in the fitness space with my fitness company. We basically run this outbound that said, hey, would you rather build muscle or lose fat? Like an easy question to answer. All right. Something like that's an easy question, like a yes, like a this or that. Works quite well because you want it to be something that's easy to respond to. Or you could also do something that's unrelated or, just like connecting them like, hey man, I saw you went to, this college I also went to. You can do that on LinkedIn, by the way. And anything to really just get a reply in the first place. All right, so that's the softened approach. And then basically what you want to do is ask them a few like qualified questions, kind of like embed it in the conversation. Like, oh, by the way, man, like, see, obviously you're doing XYZ right now. Do you find it, like, is it hard to find time to like work out or whatever? You want to embed questions in there, all right? And then basically once you get a gap established, or what we call a gap. So this is like when we ask questions and we basically establish, hey, this person's right here, they have these pain points, this current situation, they want to be over here, they have this desired situation, this current situation. There's a gap between there. Once this is established through some questioning, then you can send them the calendar basically. You can say like, oh man, like, you know what, I hate to be forward, but I can absolutely help you out with XYZ dream outcome. Are you open to chat, today or tomorrow? Something like that. And then boom, you have a call booked. All right, so those are the two approaches that work, direct, soften approach. Both have worked. Big thing here is like once you do have a winner, like once you have a flow that's working, don't change the flow. Like don't change things. You want to test different variables here of, okay, this reach out, okay, this offer message, this qualifying question. You want to test the same variables and repeat them over and over until you have a sufficient sample size. Say, okay, this one works. So let me keep on running this. If some part of the funnel doesn't work, test a different question, test a different variable there until it does work. That's a process that you're using here to actually book calls. All right, and so that's really it. Like once you have this stuff nailed down, you're gonna book calls, you're gonna put your offer in front of enough humans, and so therefore you're gonna make money. All right, so I hope this video helped kind of brought everything together here. This is the money equation. Obviously, we need to put our offer in front of more humans. Like we know that now. That's fact. In order to do that, what do we need? We need calls booked. In order to do that, what do we need? We need DMs, and then we follow these processes. We get calls booked, and we obviously make money. All right, so I hope this video helps. And if you are a coach and you want to work one-on-one with me to scale your coaching business, get more clients, and really make client acquisition never a problem for you ever again, click the link below. It'll just be directly pitching you, going on my offer. It's very transparent, very straight up. So if you were to check that out, if you want, no worries. If not, hope you have an amazing day. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.